because it's not up to them to decide if they're gonna be a girlfriend or a wife. It's up to men. So stop lying to us talking about, oh, I'm single by choice. You're not single by choice. You're single because you failed at it.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Dave Show. We have a good show planned for today, so let's waste no more time in talking. Let's do it. News and nuts. News and nuts. Hey, it's News and Nuts. Antifa's back, my friends, and they are in full force with all of their cut-up garbage can armor. They're at the University of Washington, and they're trying to take over, I don't know, a part of the campus, a building, something. They're setting fires and being a nuisance all the way around. This time they are apparently protesting against the university, and they want them to divest in Boeing because they think that Boeing is fueling the military campaign of Israel against Palestine. I don't know. These people, take a look.
Death to the police!
You can be protest. On the west sidewalk. Do not interfere with these officers.
Death to the police!
Do not get in their way.
Abolish the police! Every cop dead is a victory for the resistance!
It feels like the police may have been given a stand-down order. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of police force present at this demonstration. So I don't know if they're just, pretty confident that it's not going to get out of hand any more than it is. Or maybe they've been given a stand-down order from the mayor or somebody. I don't know. But I think the government President Trump needs to keep an eye on this. And if it gets any worse, I think they just need to pull the trigger, figuratively speaking, and bring in the National Guard to tamp down this Antifa nuisance. All right, my friends, that's all for the news. Now on to the nuts. This first clip will never not be funny.
Take that rock. I'm not gonna fall.
I'm not going to school. Look at me.
Either that young lady just came from the dentist or she had a stroke. I'm certainly hoping it's the former. In either case, I pray that she's okay. Jeez. does that lady not know you're not supposed to smoke on a plane? I don't get people these days. My goodness. All right, my friends, that wraps it up for news and nuts for the day. But don't worry, we've got a lot of liberal logic to muddle through. So sit back, buckle up. We're about to enter the Lib Zone.
Unpopular opinion, but I don't feel like, you know, if they're getting 10% off, pretty sure we should be getting 10% off. I mean, they're already getting free money, so why aren't we getting 10% off? They get 10% off just because they have one of those? That's nice.
Yeah, Meyer, that's a really good question. Why are you giving discounts on an EBT card? They're already getting their food for free. Like, what? Come on. Why aren't the normal customer, why aren't the normal citizens getting 10% off as well? That doesn't seem very fair. That doesn't seem like equity to me.
I would rather be our own province or territory or state or the 51st state before I want to be under Quebec and the French and the WEF anymore.
Yeah. What do you think of Mark Carney?
I think he's the top of the WEF and it's pretty evil and I want no part of it. So free me from it. Free me.
I know President Trump has been trolling the Prime Minister of Canada about, you know, all of Canada becoming the 51st state. That's never going to happen unless something catastrophic happens to the Canadian government and there's like a full collapse. But I do see maybe if there's enough pressure in time that maybe some of these provinces could secede from Canada, and then we can just suck them up and make them the 51st state, or maybe the 51st and 52nd state. Like Alberta would be a great candidate. They've got a lot of oil. They've got a lot of good resources. I'm looking at you, Alberta. Come on. You can become our 51st state. That'd be great.
Third judge arrested for breaking the law they swore to uphold. Judge Kelly Joseph arrested in a shocking courthouse scandal. Listen to this. In a stunning turn of events, Boston Municipal Court Judge Shelley Joseph has been arrested for allegedly helping an illegal immigrant, Jose Medina Perez, evade ICE agents back in 2018. Joseph allowed Medina Perez, a twice deported drug suspect, to slip out the back door from her Newton District Courthouse to avoid arrest. This bombshell case has reignited debates over judicial misconduct and immigration enforcement. Background on Jose Medina Perez. He had already been deported twice and had allegedly illegally re-entered the country when he was picked up for drug possession and ordered to appear in the district courthouse. Now, Judge Joseph faces charges of willful judicial misconduct and a public hearing on June 9, 2025 that could end her career on the bench. But this is not the crazy part. The crazy part is that back in 2022, Biden's DOJ dropped the charge against Judge Joseph. She thought she got away with it squeaky clean until President Trump's administration's DOJ and AG stepped in and says, you FO. We are going to hold you accountable.
Yet another example of the failure from the Biden administration. I can't believe these what's going on with these judges escorting people out of their courtrooms because they're illegals. Like, I don't get it, but I'm really glad that President Trump and the current DOJ is saying, nope, we're going to prosecute. So I hope that this judge gets stripped of her judgeship. I hope she definitely gets disbarred for life. And I think she also needs to serve just a little bit of time, you know, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, something. She needs something, but she could never be a judge again, for sure. And she can never practice law again. She's forfeited that right.
Of course, I mean, we should never take impeachment off the table. We should never take, where we see law breaking, we should never take accountability off the table. And I don't think that we should be promising anything the way that Trump tries to promise certain, locking up his political enemies. But I do believe that our legal processes exist for a reason. Impeachment exists for a reason, and it should absolutely be on the table. It should be on the table for every president. Every president should know that if you break the law, you could be prone to removal from office.
But should you pursue it? Should you pursue impeachment?
Should it be pursued?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that there is plenty of law breaking that should be examined and looked at. But the question is what articles, what will be filed, etc. But I voted for and supported impeachment in Trump's first term because he illegally withheld funds from Ukraine, and he also incited a terrorist attack right here, right behind us. And so, yeah, I think that those are things that I felt that those were grounds for impeachment, and I think it was also grounds for removal. But once again, I also don't think that impeachment is something that is used explicitly as a political attack. There must be grounds, and there very well may be, especially in the next year or two.
Yeah. I think I'm still smelling a presidential run for AOC in 2028. Do you smell the same thing, or is it just me?
If I get shot, if I get murdered by an undocumented immigrant, please tell my children I did not care that they were undocumented.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, first of all, I'm pretty sure your loved ones that are left behind would care that you've been murdered. But secondly, if it wasn't for that person actually being in the United States, having crossed over illegally, being present in the United States to kill you, you would not be killed. You would not have been killed. So, I don't know. Oh, these people are retarded.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree to disagree. I appreciate your comment, though. I see that you're holding on to a grudge. We're not back in slavery. Slavery's been over for quite some time. So I think that you need to have a different mindset, a more positive attitude. And what do you mean, leave it to me? We won't exist any longer. Have you seen your community lately? Black men are killing each other at an exorbitant rate. Okay? They're taking each other out of here quicker than any racist can. So it's not the white man you should worry about. It's your offspring. It's the toxic behavior and culture that you have attached yourself to within the black community. It's the fact that we cannot take accountability for the filth going on in our communities. This is what's going to cause us to not exist. We've pushed everybody away because we lack loyalty. Hating white people is counterproductive. Because how is that going to help you? You can hate them all you want to, but as long as you have broken homes, you cannot compete in the economic world. As long as your children continue to not value education, you cannot compete. As long as black women continue to hate black men and vice versa, this culture is over. You will no longer exist. As long as crime continues to run rampant in your communities, you will not exist. So don't take it from me. Just look at the evidence. You can go ahead and blame everybody around you but yourself, but the evidence will always point back to you.
I live here legally. If America gets destroyed, I have a country to go, but what about you? Where are you going to go?
Unfortunately, nowhere, which is what we're doing. Okay.
What you're doing is just sheer waste of time. It calls for your contribution, my contribution to make this country great. But if you want to destroy it, I'm not going to allow that because I have my kids there that came here.
How are they destroying it? How are they?
Okay, one, they don't understand that today being a Saturday, there are people working. They should go and work, contribute to the economy of this country to make sure that this country become better. Yes. But they are here wasting time, bullshitting. They get everything for free, Medicaid, Medicare, EBT and all that bullshit. Come to Africa, cash and carry. If you don't have money, you're not going to eat. You understand? You guys are here and you are just making noise for no reason. I mean, well, what kind of people is this? And you think all black people are stupid? It's not all of us who are stupid. I mean, America give people the opportunity to fool too much. The stupidity is too much.
He's more than welcome to talk.
Okay.
I just don't want to trigger the
I get it. We'll come over here.
This is
All
not
right.
a
Hey, come.
I'm sharing an idea. Not all black people who are stupid. There are some black people who use our head. You understand what I mean? I don't have to love Trump to love America. America is the greatest country on earth.
I agree.
So if you have people who always want to make noise and just misbehave as if there's a better place other than this country for them, they should wait till they destroy it. I have a country to go. But what about them? Because there's no way Africa will accept every single one of them. No way. Because they'll destroy it. I've never seen such hate in a country like America, the way they hate only one man. Americans have been spoiled, and they think that the more they make noise, the more they get things done. To get things done calls for what? Pragmatic assessment on how you're going to get things done. Not this wasting of time and just protesting somebody who loves his country. In my life, I've never seen such hate in a country like America, the way they hate only one man. How is that possible? How can you hate one man just because he loves his country? What is this?
They are advocating for illegal immigrants, an MS-13 gang member, more than they are advocating for the American citizen. How much more do I have to tell y'all? The Democratic Party is elitist liberals who only care about foreigners and cheap labor.
Black Americans have played the role of suckers to the Democratic Party. They've guilted us into voting for them, making us feel as if we're going to be ostracized, creating division within our own communities or what have you to get our vote.
He really does seem to believe that there is a moment here for Republicans to grab not just Latinos. People misunderstand Latinos as a demographic, even more so than they misunderstand the black community, as if every black is the same. But that there's an opportunity that black voters don't have to belong to Democrats. Do you believe that?
I do believe that. It's going to take more convincing, but I believe that he's touching on something that can't be ignored. I heard him loud and clear talking about the blacks and how the blacks love him so much, and historically black colleges and university. I mean, it was listening to him, it was funny and uncomfortable all rolled up into one. But it doesn't mean that we negate recognizing the validity of his point. Remember when he was campaigning in 2015, 2016, he basically looked at Black America and said, what do you have to lose? He was basically pointing to the Democratic Party and how for so long, so many promises have been made, but ultimately what you're doing is trying to encourage us to lean on a party and lean on government.
I've been researching Black Lives Matter, and I've been understanding the politics and how they're funded by white liberals. They're white liberals in blackface. Because they're white liberals in blackface. When I say that, it's because the white liberals is all about feminism, LGBT. White liberals don't really care about black people. I realize white liberals don't really care about me, bro.
That's correct.
I'm off the plantation, bro. I'm off the plantation, bro. They want to keep me dependent. But I'm realizing this. They put LGBT, women, non-binary, white feminism, all that Hillary Clinton stuff, put it in blackface. Black Lives Matter, it started by three lesbian women. It started by three lesbian women. It's not really supporting black families.
First off, now is the time for the black community to start waking up, and I think they are. I think the grifters like Al Sharpton are starting to lose their influence and their sway on the black community. I think that a lot of people are starting to wake up to the fact that the Democrats they don't care about you. They've just been using you to obtain power, to keep power. And quite frankly, if the black community doesn't get off this mental plantation that's been talked about in a couple of these last clips, that the subculture, and I'm not talking about the whole black community, but the subculture, that's where all the problems are occurring. That's where all the lawlessness is occurring. That's where a lot of the families don't have fathers. And if something isn't done soon with this subculture of the black community, we're going to have outcomes like in this next clip, and it's sad and terrifying at the same time. Take a look.
Naughty.
Naughty? How old are you?
5.
Why is your name Naughty?
Because I smoke this whole hood. This is my hood.
You're not supposed to be a thug at 5.
I'm good, bro. This is what I live at. I live in this project. Like, gay, smoking on tags.
Bro, you're
I am Poppy. I'm an ex-sex worker. She, her pronouns. I think that the system for trans people to get hormonal therapy is pretty messed up because there's a lot of people who lie their way through therapy and then they end up regretting it in the future.
Can we agree and have common ground maybe that minors should not be able to receive those drugs?
I think hormonal blockers should be legal no matter what.
Oh,
hormonal therapy, I think it's much more debatable.
My position is that we should not give children something when they might be in a phase that could be irreversibly damaging to them. And if a kid is in a certain phase, especially a young lady, because 75% of all trans youth that receive hormonal therapy are young women, that we should probably say, hey, this is more of a brain issue than a body issue, and let's try to do counseling, let's try to do cognitive behavioral therapy, not try to say that we're going to butcher you irreversibly.
And in case you were wondering, PBS, the channel that Trump is getting rid of with the government efficiency, whatever, that is the channel made for poor kids. That was the channel that was created so that poor kids could still have education. It would be easily accessible to them. They could get education. And now he's dismantling the Department of Education and getting rid of it. Like, what is he doing? What is he doing for the poor class that you guys claim that he's doing so much for it? Because I'm not seeing it.
Okay, 2 things. First, why did you have the need to go into full mime drag, if you want to call it that, full mime makeup to do this video? I don't understand that. Did you think it'd be like more effective if if you look like a sad clown or something? Secondly, I don't know what you're talking about when you say that it's only for poor kids. When I was growing up in Chicago, you had ABC, NBC, CBS. Those are the main 3. And then you had PBS, Channel 11. And that was free to everybody. As long as you had a TV, you could watch it 24/7 if you wanted to, whether you're wealthy or poor. So I'm not exactly sure why you're trying to play identity politics with this. And I mean, you're obviously just virtue signaling.
In the summer of 1970, a 14-year-old girl was raped at a 4th of July party. 9 months later, she gave birth to me.
Oh, good.
I was given up for adoption, was raised by a Christian family. When my dad had a policy when we were kids that we could take him aside and ask him what a word meant if we didn't know what it meant. I heard abortion mentioned in school when I was in elementary school by a high schooler, and I didn't know what it meant. And the night he explained it to me, I didn't hardly sleep. Because I grew up on a farm where we did everything we could to save every single animal born on that farm.
That's right.
And to know that people were killing their children because they were inconvenient
so sad.
Horrified me. And from that day on, I was a pro-lifer. The circumstances of my conception do not determine my worth as a human being.
I would totally agree with that if the outcome was that the lady was going to give the baby up for adoption, because obviously all life needs to be cherished. And so, yeah, like that guy, I mean, we wouldn't be listening to that guy if she would have had an abortion just because she was made pregnant in an illegitimate way. Let's say, I don't know if that's the proper way to describe it on YouTube, but yeah, totally. Life needs to be cherished, and it's super cool that that guy was adopted into a good family with good moral foundation, it sounds like. So anyways, yeah, adoption, I think adoption is definitely the way to go, even though I know there are flaws in the system and it needs to be fixed for sure, but it's better than abortion any day. and twice on Sunday. All right.
Sweetheart, tell these people, do you want a little boy to watch you pee?
No,
No. Why?
because it's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate.
This is the moment a very angry father confronted his daughter's school board with nothing but the truth. Have a look at this.
My 8-year-old daughter knows it's inappropriate, and yet y'all sit there silent. If a little boy follows my daughter in that bathroom and touches her, you will have a new rather of dangers. This is ridiculous. You're opening up opportunity for problems to happen. You either create a new bathroom for those who are confused, or you send them to the staff bathroom. I want to prove that you're all hypocrites, because each of you ladies, I want you to invite your husbands. Let's go to the bathroom, and I want them to watch me watch you use the bathroom, and let's see if they get mad. Let's prove to the public the hypocrites that sit on this board. Because I bet you'll get mad when I watch your wife. Your husband will get mad when I watch you. Your husband would feel the same as I would about my wife.
Yep.
Now stand up and do something. You're so scared of losing federal funding, it's ridiculous.
Wow. Well, that's what a real dad looks like. How is it possible for you to be put in a position of power that physically dictates people's lives, and yet it takes an 8-year-old child to tell you what you're doing wrong? I have a young daughter myself, and I'll tell you now, I'm not scared of cancellation. I completely agree with this guy. If I saw a man follow my daughter into the bathroom, regardless of what his intentions were, there would be a problem. And I don't know any other man that wouldn't react exactly the same. The world has gone completely mad. If you want to put on a dress and call yourself Cindy in your own time, that's completely up to you. I don't care what you do. Just leave the children alone. And I don't care if this loses me followers. If you're one of these people who thinks grown men should be sharing bathrooms and private spaces with little girls, then I don't want sickos like you following me anyway. I don't usually get angry in my videos, but something has got to give. This is nonsense.
Angry, but,
Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe out there.
It is quite amazing that an 8-year-old girl has more wisdom and common sense than an entire board of adults.
Excuse me, can you guys help me find a tool? A left-handed hammer? Just like a normal hammer. I'm just a left-handed guy.
That girl in the pink pants has no idea what he's even talking about. I don't even think she knows what a hammer is.
Just looking for a left-handed hammer.
And they all go straight to their phone.
Maybe you can show me where the hammers are at?
That'd be the first place to start. That should be pretty easy. Oh gosh, like a mechanical hammer?
Just like something like this, where you can use both sides, or
like I'm a left-handed.
Yeah.
Have we ever had a press secretary be this dumb and lie this much? Is this normal? Have I just not paid attention to previous presidential press secretaries? Because Caroline Leavitt is like awful.
Are you serious, dude? Have you not seen Jean-Pierre over the last 4 years with her big binder just absolutely gaslighting the press and the American people every single time she appeared on camera? Gosh, you were unbelievable, dude. Nice. That's a creative way of starting a fire.
Gnarly boys.
That's funny. I really love how they edited that to make it look like their small little fire erupted into this massive, out of control forest fire. That was pretty funny.
What is an adult problem that nobody prepared you for?
Having to figure out what I'm having for dinner for the rest of my fucking life. Also, that your car and your appliances will shit the bed the second you have any money saved. That my knees and my back are gonna hurt every time it fucking rains. The price of paper towels. Accidentally ruining your entire fucking week because you stayed up past 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Having a favorite burner on your stove that if anybody else uses, it's a fucking issue. I wouldn't call it a problem, but being excited to cancel plans, waking up injured after doing fucking nothing, you just slept wrong, having to recover after extensive socializing, spending $8.99 on a head of lettuce just to have it die in the fridge, trying to figure out if you're just depressed or dehydrated, having your entire body crack like a fucking glow stick just because you stood up. The absolute betrayal of a hangover lasting 2 business days. Every new pain you feel in your body turns into a game of temporary or permanent.
Yeah, I don't know about the special burner that he was talking about. Okay, I don't know about that, but I can tell you it is fact that I went to sleep one night. My right shoulder was totally 100% fine. I woke up and it was all jacked up. I don't know what happened. Oh gosh, getting older, it it kind of sucks.
Quick question, we still draining the swamp, or is that long gone now?
Yeah.
Thought we were draining the swamp like 10 years ago. Remember, Trump said to Hillary in 2016, if I was president, you'd be behind bars. Almost a decade ago.
She should be.
In fact, the swamp has grown. There's more treasonous swamp monsters than ever before, and not one of them's been indicted or put behind bars. So I'm just a little confused. Are we still using that motto of fucking drain the swamp or what? A little confused.
Well, it takes time to make the case against these people, but I certainly hope within the next half a year to a year, that should be plenty of time, I would think, to start bringing some of these cases and start arresting some of these people. You know what I'm saying? I want to see perp walks, my friend, and I want to see jail time given to some of these politicians or whoever's involved with all the shady stuff that's going on.
A new House resolution was introduced to the floor yesterday, that would have been May 5th, 2025, by Representative Sam Graves of Missouri's 6th District. It is called Recognizing the Roles and Contributions of Elementary and Secondary School Teachers in Building and Enhancing the Civic, Cultural, and Economic Well-Being of the United States.
Sounds good.
Now, I've set up alerts so I can come back to this because I have to tell you, this one could go one of 2 ways for me. And it's especially concerning after seeing what Stephen Miller had said about schools in the U.S. over the last few days. Remember this?
Children will be taught to love America. Children will be taught to be patriots. Children will be taught civic values for schools that want federal taxpayer funding.
The reason I'm drawing this introduced bill as well as the Stephen Miller video together is because of this idea of enhancing civics, enhancing whatever their version of the United States is into the classroom and into the everyday lives of Americans who are really the next generation of Americans. Yes. So the one of 2 ways this could go for me. Number 1, this could be something that allows some sort of recognition or honor or medal or whatever to teachers who abide by what they are expecting to be taught. Or this could be a blueprint as to what teaching in the United States in terms of public elementary and secondary schools needs to look like from their point of view. Either way, I'm very, very anxious to get my hands on the text when it is published so we can do a deep dive into this. Let me know your initial thoughts in the comments.
What do you mean by their point of view? I mean, I don't understand these liberals. Why do they hate America so much? Why is it so shocking to actually have the idea of maybe teaching children the truth about America? Teaching them to be proud of America? Teaching them all the good things that America's done. Now, they also need to teach the bad things. They need to teach about slavery and all the other crazy stuff that we've not gotten right over the years, because there's been plenty. But look, for the most part, America's been pretty dang awesome. And that needs to be taught in the classroom again from an early age, so that you might call it indoctrination. I don't care. But that's the kind of stuff that needs to be taught. They need to say the pledge every morning, and they need to be taught to love and respect not just America, but they need to love and respect their fellow citizens. They need to love and respect themselves so that they become good, productive citizens. I don't understand where the radical thought in this is. It's just it just kind of blows my mind. It really does. There seems to be this sentiment that bikers are very arrogant. One could say maybe even hoity-toity in their attitudes towards everybody else that's on the road. I think this biker definitely was in the fault. I think that it was clear to this guy that this car was merging. Now, maybe the car shouldn't have merged. That's a separate issue. But it merged. The guy definitely saw that the car merged, yet instead of common sense telling him to just back off a little bit, no, this douchebag had to speed up, ride this guy's bumper, and then when the car stopped unexpectedly or hit the brakes when he wasn't expecting it, of course he then runs into the car. These people, I tell you, can common sense please just come back to America? Into the world, for that matter.
Ain't no woman single by choice.
Oh, really?
What?
I beg to differ.
You were single because you failed at finding a suitable man.
Right.
Wow.
Because it couldn't possibly be that myself, along with lots of other women, as well as men, just like being single. There has to be some other reason.
That's true.
You don't have the right to make that decision. Women don't have the right.
Ooh, don't I?
Because it's not up to them to decide if they're going to be a girlfriend or a wife. It's up to men.
Oh, dearie, keep telling yourself that. Because not every single relationship is initiated by a man.
So stop lying to us talking about, oh, I'm single by choice. You're not single by choice. You're single because you failed at it.
You know, saying something over and over again, even with a lot of conviction, doesn't make it true.
Stop lying to us like we're stupid.
Well, in some cases, if the shoe fits, wear it.
So this bullshit about you're single by choice, you're single by choice. If you ever hear a woman say she's single by choice, tell her she's lying.
Yeah, tell me that I'm lying. See how that goes. I think I might even tag this person.
She's single because she failed at it. Okay? Only men can take you out of that side. What? You can't take yourself out of that side. Stop lying.
I really wonder what it's like to live in that fantasy world. Must be lovely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know someone that's going to be single forever. Gosh. What on earth? Why do they make such unsafe situations for people? I think this is in China. There's no way. That's a guaranteed death sentence. I really would like to have known what was at the top of that rock that was worth risking your life to take anything. I don't care if you even just put something in your pockets. That is such a dangerous situation to be put in. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. All right, my friends, that wraps up the Lib Zone. So it is time for a much-deserved detox. Roll it. It's time for Dave's Detox. You go, girl. High step that. What? That's funny.
Kobe.
Aw, cute little puppy. What? Cats. Cats. Wow, that's a lot of huskies. A lot of husky pups. What? What would cause that? Oh, nice. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Wow, he's good. Wow, that's 4 in a row. 5. Nice. Oh no, no! Still landed on its feet. Nice. Aww.
Uh-oh, what happened?
And of course the cat had to take the piece of food that was in the hand. I couldn't have taken any of the other pieces that were just sitting on the tray. Oh boy. Well, I hope that was a good Tea Talks for you. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please subscribe, like, share, slap that bell around, tell everybody about Idle Hands, and until the next episode, stay safe, know that you are loved and appreciated, and until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.